Thank you for staying with us, everyone. Tonight, our spotlight is on Delta State, a former stronghold of the PDP, but now witnessing political tectonic shift as the 2027 elections loom. At the center of this transformation is Sheriff Oborowori, the governor of Delta State, who in April 2025 formally defected from the PDP to the All Progressives Congress, APC. With his arrival into the APC, the party immediately affirmed him as its state leader, a move signaling a recalibration of power within Delta's political terrain. How the defection reshapes party dynamics within Delta, the balancing of local interest groups, the fate of the PDP, and how the APC intends to leverage this for the 2027 general election. To help us unpack these issues and more, I'm joined tonight by APC chieftain Honorable Efe Ofobroko. Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Honorable. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Right. So Delta State is now APC. Let's start. What does this mean for governance?
Okay. Thank you very much. As you know, during the last elections, it was quite a struggle. It was a battle, and considering the history of the state from 1999 to April this year, it has always been PDP all the way. It has been a PDP state mostly until 2023 general elections, when the APC was led into the elections battle by the then Deputy President of the Senate, distinguished Senator Omo Agege. I can tell you that his leadership of the party by the 2023 election now made a difference when APC now won 2 senatorial seats, House of Reps, and several state Houses of Assembly seats. In fact, that is the best deal that any opposition has gotten so far since the history of Delta State. Now, fast forward to 2025. As you already mentioned, the governor of Delta State, in the person of Right Honorable Sheriff Oborowori, and his team, from commissioners to the State Assembly to the leadership of PDP in Delta State, they collapsed their structures and they joined the All Progressive Congress. As you know already, of course, that should be a plus, for us as a party and in preparing for the 2027 elections. But having said that, it also means that there's going to be a lot of competition for space and competition for office, competition for positions, as it were. And of course, it now changes the configuration of Delta. Today, we can now say Delta is an APC state. But let me put it this way. APC across Nigeria, from the national to the states, be controlled by the APC. APC is a progressive party, and most of their governors have shown quality leadership. They have delivered on the mandate given to them. They have been able, to a large extent, bring the dividends of democracy to their people in the various states. So now that we have PDP leaders and PDP government collapsing into APC, they have, of course, now begun to adopt the model of leadership of the APC, the model of approach to governance of APC. What I can say to you as of today is that because they have come into APC and they are now using the model developed by the APC for governance, there's a great improvement in the style of governance and leadership in Delta State. But there's still a difference, especially in the area of party formation, party structure, party positioning, and party struggle. But for governance, there's a great improvement, because I can tell you that the PDP that came into APC, they are now running with the model of the APC leadership in the state. All
right, that's impressive. But we'll get to party structure and formation in a minute. But, I'm not sure the governor's defection took many by surprise. Maybe not APC members, who already knew this was going to happen. Would you have wished that the party captured the state through the ballot box and not by the governor's defection?
Well, considering the caliber of people in the APC, we were not in government in Delta State before the governor came.
Yes.
But if you look at the trajectory of the movement of politicians in Delta, if you look at what was happening in the state, people were resigning their appointments in the government of the PDP then. People were throwing away their offices and joining the APC. There was mass movement because it was clear. They could see the light at the end of the tunnel. It was obvious that by 2027, we were going to form a government in Delta State. We were going to take over the state through the ballot box. It was becoming very clear that we will win the 2027 election. So any politician knows what he's doing, any politician that understands the terrain of Delta State knew very well that we were going to win. You will recall that before the governor joined APC, the senator representing Delta North Senatorial District, the distinguished Senator Ned Nwoko, had already moved into the APC. So we had 3/3 already, Senate-wise. Then we had other people from other parts of the state, critical stakeholders, leaders, grassroots-based and grassroots-oriented politicians, people who are able to galvanize the populace, the electorate, to vote in a particular direction. They were all moving into the APC. So if you ask me, I will tell you sincerely, it was more or less like a case of sweeping the carpet off their feet already. So
you're saying if the governor had not joined, the APC would have still captured the state in 2027?
Yes, we still would have won the elections. We would have won the election in 2027. I can tell you that for free. We would have won the elections because we're good to go. We're good to go.
Maybe not, because the PDP has been in control of that state for 26 years. So did you think there was any genuineness behind the reasons given by the governor for leaving PDP? And let me remind our viewers also, he said he was surrounded by local adversaries, and with his party losing grassroots support, he needed to flee to the APC. Did that excuse sit right with you, even when Delta APC was also facing its own internal wrangling?
If I get you correctly, I want to be quoted. I want to put this on record.
All right.
Political parties don't make people tick. People make political parties tick. It is the volume and caliber of people who come into a party, who join a party, who operate a party that makes a party tick. I want to cast your mind back. In 2015, I ran for office. I ran for the House of Assembly elections to represent my local government in the Delta State House of Assembly. I was the only person who won an election into a state legislature on the platform of SDP, Social Democratic Party, in 2015. But before then, the party was in existence, but it was not known in my locality, my local government, until I moved with the mass of my supporters into the SDP and gave it life in Ubiye constituency. And we hit the ground running. We covered every corner of the local government. And by the day the election came, by the time of the election, by the time we got to the ballot box, we were tops. So that is it. So it is not necessarily because there is a name or a big name. The people that made PDP in Delta ab initio from 1999 till April this year, majority of them had already left the PDP to the APC. They had already left. So it was not about a name, PDP being the party that had been ruling Delta State, that being a PDP stronghold. When you talk about stronghold, you talk about the people that makes up the party. In the area. The party cannot deliver itself. The party cannot campaign for itself. The party cannot reach out to the electorate on its own. It is human beings that will drive the process. So most of the people that made PDP tick then, which also included myself, had left to the APC.
All right.
So without mincy words, if we had gone to the ballot in 2027, the story would have been different. Yeah. But of course, those who have the benefit of hindsight, they saw it coming and they decided to adjust, and of course, they are most welcome.
And with the governor now officially in the APC, I mean, earlier you talked about formation, you talked about structure. How is the APC managing the integration process, especially when you consider the influx of all of these former PDP loyalists?
Yes, you see, that is where we now have the real issues. Let me liken it to the game of football. If a club side buys players from other club sides, people move into the club, there's going to be some sort of adjustments, right? In chemistry, there is a principle in chemistry known as the Le Chantalier's principle. Le Chantalier's principle states that if a system in equilibrium, a system at rest, is subjected to an external stress, that the system will adjust itself in such a way as to annul that external stress. Now, our party, the APC, was stable until the influx of these people from the PDP. But the challenge now is them. So when you now move from your previous party to now join the APC, it is just proper that you do reintegration. But some persons within the old PDP fold that has joined APC, they now want it to look like they have the conquered territory. They now behave as if the APC Delta is now a situation of where you have spoils of war. oh, we have conquered this party, so the party now belongs to us. So we want to take everything, we want to hijack the party. And that kind of behavior doesn't mean well for the party, neither does it mean well for the next elections. If I must say, it doesn't mean well for Mr. President either. So that is where the real issue is. Because there were people in the party, some of us have been in the party before these people came, but they are carrying on as if they never met anybody in the party, as if it was an empty party they met and they feel they can just come and hijack. To that extent, some of them have made frantic effort to trample on the heads of some of us. And of course, they have been meeting great resistance. They have not gone the extra mile of, arranging kangaroo suspension, kangaroo removal, kangaroo impeachment of some of the party officials who have tried to tell them that, no, you can't come into the party and just climb on people's heads. First, you join the party, we have welcomed you. You should register to become a member of the party. Put your name down. Let us know that you are in our party. When you have put your name down, then let the leaders at that level, because we have leadership, meet with the leadership of those that have come in, iron out the working arrangements, then we sit down and we flow as a party. But when you think that, oh, you have the conquered territory, that you will just come and climb on the heads of people, then the tunnel wrangling will not end. And it's not good for us as a party. It's not, if it's not resolved now before the next Congress, then it's going to be disastrous. Take, for example, in Ughelli North local government, from nowhere, some persons who are interested in running for elections in 2027, particularly for Senate and others, through the support of some of these people that came from PDP, woke up from the wrong side of the bed, had a kangaroo meeting, and announced that they have suspended the chairman of the party at the local government level, the Ughelli North local government party chairman for APC, from office. The same thing they did in Ethiopia West. You cannot come and join a party, you meet people, and you say you are suspending people from office. Apart from that, our constitution, which is the guiding book of the party, is very clear. There are procedures, there are rules, there's a way these things are done. Even before you embark on maybe trying to suspend or to create a fight. Section 36 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which is the holy book of the Nigerian nation, describes a room for fair hearing. Talks about giving people the room for fair hearing before you take any action. So you cannot just wake up. So there has been a lot of these kangaroo activities in some of these local governments. Though my local government is at peace, because first, as a principal stakeholder and a key leader of the party in my local government, I have good working relationship with everybody, both in the existing APC and the PDP that has just joined. Don't forget that once upon a time I was with them. So I have a lot of friends there. So I have been working with them harmoniously, and of course we have been interacting, we have been looking at the gray areas, trying to iron out whatever differences that exist. But some of these players, they have refused to come down from their high horses. They feel that, oh, they have joined APC, they must climb on everybody's head, and that is where the tunnel wrangling is. This
is interesting, Honorable, because I mean, no one would have thought that this crisis would start this early. Earlier you said your party was stable before Governor Sheriff came in. I'm sure a lot of persons would doubt that, because before the governor joined the APC, there's been a disconnect within Delta APC. I mean, different factions heading towards different directions because of an absence of coherent leadership. It was all in the news, despite harvesting hordes of politicians from other political parties. What is clear is that the ruling party remained some kind of fractured. There was this factionalism and a glaring lack of strategic direction. We see these things. So it may have just escalated since the governor came into the APC, and since then there have been moments of discontent among long-standing party members like yourself. Some have said they've been sidelined or overlooked. But how true are these reports? And just to be clear, the bone of contention is that some APC members are saying that the influx of these former members and the restructuring of party structures has meant that their years of loyalty count for less. How will you respond to loyalists who say, we fought when the APC was weak in Delta, we served local governments, we worked hard, branch mobilization, now we're not getting our first eyes of recognition?
Well, let me quickly say, anybody who says that the APC in Delta was weak before the governor and the PDP team came in, that person is not telling himself the truth. Nobody leaves a premiership club side to come and play in a local league in Africa, for using that as an example. everybody who is playing the local league wants to play in the Premiership. As of the time the governor came in, Delta APC was the Premiership team. That was why they left their party. That was why they threw away their party. After congresses, after they elected a new leadership, they threw all away, gave up the offices to come to the APC because the APC was very obviously the most formidable platform to come to, was a viable option. And of course, it's a good thing. There's this popular saying that the many, the merrier. We welcome them. We are practicing a democracy. Politics is a game of numbers. There will be elections. It is votes that will be counted. If they bring their strength, add to what we have, it will, of course, give us a better standing. We welcome them. But the point is this. The so-called internal wrangling or maybe tension or struggle that was within the APC before these people came was just a very minor, it was like a storm in a teacup. It was a very minor power tussle within the party, which was resolved and everywhere became calm. In fact, I remember a group setting up what they called College of Leaders. The College of Leaders and the Reconciliation Committee was set up. That Reconciliation Committee went around, met with all the power centers within the then APC. They met with the critical stakeholders, the gladiators, discussed with them, presented every issue on the table. And a lot of these issues were trashed, they were resolved. Don't forget that we all worked together in the last election. It was after these issues had been resolved that the governor and his team joined the party. They didn't join the party when these issues were on. They joined the party when the issues have been resolved. We are not against the governor coming into the party. I am not against the governor coming into the party. It will interest you to know that once upon a time, the governor of Delta State, Right Honorable Sheriff Oboriwo, was my colleague in the assembly. Okay. We were together in the assembly before he became Mr. Speaker. And we worked together in the assembly as colleagues, as Mr. Speaker. I came back to the assembly again as special advisor to the governor of Delta State on House of Assembly matters, and we worked together again for another 2 years. So he's somebody that I know very well, I know closely. He knows me very well. It will interest you to know that the name he used to call me when we were in the assembly is the same name he calls me till today when he sees me. So we have that working relationship. But the point is this. Of course, there's a lot of name dropping going on. For instance, some people are dropping the name of Mr. President to cause crisis in the party because they want to have a lion's share. Some are dropping the name of the former Deputy Senate President to want to take control of some part of the party. So what is this lion's share? The name of the governor
Honorable, kindly hold on just before we go on break. What is this lion's share all about? Clearly, you are one of the aggrieved leader of the party. Yes, so you're one of the aggrieved leaders of the party, and for those who say they want to get their first slice of recognition, what kind of recognition are they looking for? But I'll allow you to answer that question when we return from this break. And it's also important to say that when we return, we continue this conversation on our international platforms. Please stay with us, everyone. Thank you for staying with us, everyone. Delta Party politics and 2027 election is our focus tonight, and I've been speaking with APC Chieftain Delta State, Honorable Efe Ofobruko. Thank you very much for staying with us on the program, Honorable. So, the question I asked before we went in that break, what kind of recognition are they all looking for? And when is their lion's share, what exactly are you talking about?
Okay, thank you very much. So when you talk about recognition, let me use myself as an example. When I was in my old party, I was the leader of the party in my ward, Ubia Ward 9. When I joined the APC, considering my antecedent, I remained the leader of the party in Ward 9 in Ubia. Now, when you now come from another party to join the APC, and you are in my ward, for instance, you do not expect that I will just be discarded or be thrown away because you have not joined the party. So I become irrelevant, unimportant. Then you that is just coming in, you now automatically take over the control and the affairs of the party. It doesn't work like that. Even if you are maybe a political office holder and there's need to accord your office respect or give recognition to the fact that you occupy a certain office, you have met people in the party. You should be a great team player. You have met people in the party. You reach out to the people, discuss with them. I am now in the party. I've come so that we work together, especially if you have the interest of running for elections. You don't come and begin to politically bully the people. You don't come and begin to talk as if you have just acquired a piece of real estate, or you now have a conquered territory where you can now dole out instructions to people, or maybe just do whatever you like. You see, Every politics is local.
All right.
We have welcomed those who have come in. You must learn to take into account the sensibilities of the people you are meeting in the party and do the needful. Right. Interact with them, romance with them. Let all issues be put on the table for discussions. Even if certain persons are going to cede their position, because, as you know, it is useless being a leader in a party that is not winning elections or that is not in government. So even if certain persons are going to cede their positions or cede their offices, all of these things can be discussed. All of these things can be negotiated. You don't just come out to climb on the heads of the people. We are humans, of course. If you decide to toe that line, then you are going to meet resistance from members of the party.
Right.
And it will not
because
be good
there
for
is
the party.
there is also a reported case, Honorable, where some ward officials refused to register new defectors because they insisted on proper resignation letters from the PDP. There's another report indicating that the aggrieved members are also claiming that the status quo has been bought. Is that a fair assessment? Could it be that the status quo understands hierarchy and decides to respect that?
Okay, for the ward issue of registration, when the PDP collapsed and joined the APC, I got some of these reports too. Let me once again use my ward as an example. I got some of these reports and I invited my ward chairman and some of the executives of the ward, and we had an interactive session. And I said to them that there is no law that forbids you from registering anybody in joining the party. Anybody that wants to join the party can join the party. But the point is this, the only issue there was that there were now reports that some of these defectors who came for PDP were one leg in PDP and one leg in APC. It was at this point that the ward chairmen were now insisting that we want to prove that you have truly resigned from your previous party before coming to join our party. But if truly you have resigned from your previous party, it's not a big deal to show proof that you have left your previous party. It's not a big deal. You should be able to show maybe a copy of your letter of resignation, especially if you are a known card-carrying member of that party, your name is in their register, or you held an office there. Don't forget that, like I said earlier, every politics is local. So, for instance, in our locality, in my ward, in Ubia Ward 9, we know ourselves. We know those who are APC. We know those who are PDP. We know those who are of Labour Party, who have now migrated to ADC. We know them. So if we knew you as a member of Party A, and we are now coming to join APC, it is not out of place to want to be sure that you have actually resigned from Party A before joining the APC. Because when you have now joined our party, we will hold meetings together, we will discuss election strategy, we will plan for elections, and many other things we will do together. We did not expect that you'll be one leg here and one leg there.
I hear you, Honorable.
Some of those issues played out, but
when, you know...
After that phase, that issue was resolved, and people were now received into the party. They started joining the party. But again, some of them also felt too arrogant. They didn't want to submit themselves to the leadership of the APC at ward level. Some of them will tell you that, yes, I'm not in APC. I won't come and register at the ward. I want to go register online. But we know that you don't join parties like that. Even if you register online, you must come and identify with the ward. Then talking about the issue of the state executive being bought. I'm not a member of the state ESCO. I'm not aware whether they were bought. I'm not aware whether they were on sale.
So that's the allegation.
I cannot speak to that.
That's the allegation. Kindly hold on, sir. That's the allegation. Some of them are pointing fingers at the publicity secretary, who is attempting to, I mean, according to him, it says he's attempting to reiterate the governor's rightful leadership. Tonight you have said that the governor should seek political patronage. I mean, isn't that hypocritical when you all know that there is an unwritten law in your party which states that the governor is the leader of the party in the state? And we also heard Vice President Shetima reiterating that to everyone. Isn't that, you know, fighting a lost battle?
Okay, well, personally, I'm not in the league of battle for who is the leader of the party or who is not the leader of the party. I'm not the governor of Delta State. Before the governor of Delta State joined the APC, I was not the leader of the party in Delta State. But I am a principal stakeholder, a critical stakeholder, and a leader of the party in my ward, in my local government. That I can speak to. But be that as it may, if you recall very well, I do not know how politically active or aware you were as of 1983. During the 1983 election cycle, in those days, the chairman of the party was the leader of the party. the chairman of the party is the one that leads the party, not a political office holder. I'm sorry to say, this issue of governor being leader of party or this being leader of party or that being leader of party started in 1999 when the then president, Olusegun Obasanjo, insisted and asserted himself as leader of the party in APC. Of course, you can understand why he took that line. He was the former head of state and one with military background. He refused to submit himself to the leadership of the party being duly in charge. I remember the days of Chief Adisa Akiloye, when he was chairman of the MPN. Adisa Akiloye then had control over every member of the party, irrespective of the office you held. So this issue of political office holders being leaders of the party now came into being in 1999. Like you did mention, it's an unwritten rule. But if it's going to become an issue for people who are in the party, then I would suggest that we should revert to the old ways. But be that as it may, even if the governor is the leader of the party, just like you have mentioned, did he meet a vacuum? The answer is no.
Just like
did he join? Say again?
I want you to land on your thoughts, but as you land on your thoughts, is the governor's leadership subject to debate? Let's be clear on that.
Okay, the governor being leader of the party, that is the practice direction of this present republic that we are in today. Of course, like I said, started since 1999. That has been the practice direction. But what I'm saying is, the governor being leader of the party, it shouldn't be an issue. The issue should be, you did not join a party in vacuum. You did not join an empty party. You joined a party that had structure, that had people, that had senators, that had people in the National Assembly, House of Reps, that had people even in the State Assembly. Not only the fact that we had minority leader and the other members of the Assembly on the platform of our party. It is just proper that those who have come with him should know when to draw the line and do the needful. Sit with those you have met there and work out an arrangement to move forward subsequently. So like I mentioned earlier, some people are dropping the name of Mr. President. Some are dropping the name of the governor. Some are dropping the name of the former Deputy Senate President. This line of action is very unhealthy for a party that is looking forward to winning an election, that is marching forward towards 2027. The elections are around the corner. Everybody must sit down and judge and talk and discuss and dialogue. Even as much as we agree that some persons might maybe see their offices or see their positions, some persons might be displaced eternally. It's not out of place. It's just very normal. You will recall that when the ACN, the CPC, and the ANPP then, with a faction of the PDP, and even a part of ABGA and the then DPP, came together to form the APC. So persons who used to be national chairmen of parties did not become national chairman of the APC. Just like the former state chairman of PDP, who is now in APC, is no longer state chairman of a party. So we should be willing to accommodate one another. The idea of trying to climb on the heads of others is what personally I do not subscribe to. This issue and idea of waking up in the morning and announcing that you have done kangaroo suspension of a party chairman, either in Ethiopia East local government or in Ethiopia West local government or Ogele North local government, it is wrong. It is very unfair. It will not go down well with the people in the party. You will necessarily overheat the polity in the party. It reminds me of three people forming an assembly in River State like we experienced most recently. It won't work. It won't work. There are the series of petitions. Some people written to the Inspector General Police that their signatures were forged in carrying out those so-called suspensions. Some have written to the National Working Committee. Some are even threatening to go to court. We do not need all of this. First of all, apart from being members of political party, we all know ourselves. We are brothers and sisters. We are family. We are all from the same community one way or the other. After elections come and go, we'll still reside in the same community. We'll still go to the same market. We'll still worship in the same worship houses. So we must not let politics to tear into our skin. To that extent, let us sit down and do the most we can to accommodate each other. Personally, right, the fact that those people have joined the APC makes the 2027 task a lot easier.
All right. Again, for the purpose of clarity, Honorable, because what I have also heard is that those of you who are unhappy, those of you who are aggrieved, those of you who are complaining, those of you who want the lion's share, those of you who want recognition, are members of the caucus of the former Deputy Senate President, and all of you are fighting on his behalf. Is that true? Well,
I want to be put on record here. The former Deputy Senate President is well known to me. He was my principal in the last election. I supported him wholeheartedly. I worked for him. I am not aware. If you say I'm a member of his caucus, I will not dispute that. Yes, I am quite close to him, so I can as well say I'm a member of his caucus. But I am not aware of any instruction by the former Deputy Senate President for anybody to start fighting here and there to say, no, this is what we want or this is what we do not want. Don't forget, the day the governor joined the party, the former Deputy Senate President was there. He was one of those who received the governor into the party. They joined hands and they raised their hands up for the whole world to see. We all saw it. So the former Deputy Senate President could have traveled all the way to Asaba to join in receiving the governor into the party and be inciting crisis in a party he labored hard day and night. He spent resources, political and otherwise, to build. He could have done that. It is just the natural instinct of man, of the people who are in the party, who feel that, yes, you have come, then we should be, of course, accorded our due respect. Let me say this. Some of this small resistance here and there, when I joined the party, I met things like that too. I met things like that. What did I do? I made an arrangement and I hosted the executive of the party in my ward. After hosting the executive, I hosted the entire ward. And they saw that I meant well, that I have not come to displace anybody, but to add value. That is the truth. Because it is one value plus another value that will give us the result in the election. Like I did mention, with the influence of these people, it makes our task easy. It makes the 2027 election easy for us to win. If we're going to put in 100 kg of effort or whatever before, if we're going to do, we may not need up to that again to win the next election.
So if you say all of you are not fighting on his behalf, if you say all of you are not aggrieved on his behalf and that there is a good relationship between himself and the governor, have you tendered some of these issues to him? Have you spoken with him? Have you talked to him? Have you spoken with him about all of these grievances and the issues you have raised tonight?
Well, I believe the former Deputy Senate President is aware that there's internal power tussle. The reason I'm saying this is because his local government is affected. So persons woke up and said they have removed the chairman of the party in his local government. Even though we know that this so-called removal, they are all null and void, they are not known to law, they are not recognized, they are just, drama, so to speak. So he is aware. But again, let me also say this. It is a good thing that people struggle for. If the APC is not a good political vehicle for 2027 in Delta State, there won't be power tussle as to the control of the APC in Delta State. That is the truth. Everybody wants to take control of this beautiful bride called the APC in Delta State. It is very normal. I'm sure he may be aware, but like I said before, I want to put it succinctly. There is no time the former Deputy Senate President has told me or any other person that I know that, hey, guys, go there and start fomenting trouble. Don't allow this or allow that. No. The former Deputy Senate President, to the best of my knowledge, is alive. He can speak for himself. But I know that he's a peace-loving man. He is somebody who likes peace. Like I said earlier, he won't have built the party to this stage, then mobilize people to want to pull it down. No. It is those who are used to enjoying Eldorado, those who are used to being members of ruling party in court, they are the ones that are having difficulty in acknowledging the fact that now you are now in another party where you may not be as strategic as you used to be. Like I mentioned earlier, the state chairman of PDP before they joined is no longer state chairman of a party. But he's now in APC. He's recognized as one of the leaders from the area where he comes from. Nobody is fighting him. He's not fighting anybody. It is just some elements who are going and dropping the name of the governor, dropping the name of Mr. President for their selfish interest. Probably they have political interest. And they feel threatened that now that we are in APC.
Another leader comes to mind. Where does former Governor James Ibori stand in all of this? Okay.
Well, I am not an APC member in the Ethiopia West local government. The former Governor Chief James Ibori, our supreme leader, our supreme political leader, is from Ethiopia West local government. I do not have any information at this moment whether he has joined the APC or not. But I know that he's quite close to Mr. President. He's a friend of the president. He means well for the president. And he will support anything that will make the president to win a second term and emerge victorious in 2027. The truth of the matter is that some of us have resolved that some of these issues should be taken to him to intervene. Not minding the fact that he may not necessarily be a member of the party taken to him because all of us are products of his political lineage. All of us, one way or the other, emerged through his political school of thought from 1999 to There's hardly anybody, any of the gladiators. Is it the governor? Is it the former deputy senate president? Is it my humble self? Is it Senator Dr. Arthur Okowa, the former governor? Is it Dr. Emmanuel Weta Odwan, the former governor? One way or the other, we were all part of his administration. We were all with him. So he's our political Ose. Let me put it that way. Ose in my language means father. He's our political father in Delta State. So it's not out of place, really, to bring some of these issues to his table to help us to look at, because he can actually invite everybody. He knows everybody. From the governor to the last man, he knows everybody. If you blindfold Chief Jameson and Efebori, he can practically write the names of all the key political gladiators in each local government of Delta State, whether on APC side or the other side. Because the people who are in APC or in Labour Party today or in ADC were people who, one way or the other, were once with him in 1999 to 2006 to 2007. So, maybe the issues are taken to him, we'll be able to resolve them. I can assure you that.
So,
probably
since you've not taken...
The former deputy senate president has not asked anybody to scatter the party because he's not happy. No, that's not true. It is those who were living in Eldorado in the other party, those who were living in Eldorado in the other party, that are now finding it difficult to now adjust to the new reality of being members of the APC. It's like a man who is used to sitting in front in church. And when you had a small church building, you were sitting in front. Now you have a big church building with more people. You could not get a front seat again, and you're not comfortable.
All right, Honorable. So if the former deputy senate president is not happy, and you have not taken these issues to former Governor James Ibori, how is the party leadership addressing those grievances? Are there deliberate steps being taken to, perhaps reassure these foundation members that their loyalty and years of service to the APC still matter? Okay, so let me quickly say that I have not said that the former deputy senate president is not happy. What I think is happening is that the leadership of the party in Delta State, particularly the state leadership, they are not doing enough to integrate the people who have joined us with those who were in the party. I think it is the leadership of the state that is failing the members of the party at the moment. They are supposed to they are supposed to trigger the activities or the momentum that will bring about the proper integration of both sides of the divide. Because whether you like it or not, there's just one APC in Delta State. It's one APC. And those who came to join us, they are now subject to the leadership of the APC that they met at the state level. If you notice, the internal wrangling is not at the state level. The internal wrangling is at local government and ward levels. And if you notice again, it is mostly in Delta Central, like I did mention before, which is our senatorial district. And it is largely because some persons have political ambition. They have political aspiration. And they feel that if... Who are these persons?
If we continue like this, well, you are a journalist. I think you need to maybe take time to come to Delta State.
You brought the matter to us, so give us names. Give us names. You brought the matter to us. I mean, before I go ahead and start.
Okay, so let's look at it. Let's look at it this way. Let's look at it this way. There was a meeting that took place in the residence of Olorigo Otega Emero, who was a leader of the party as at the time of formation of the party. It was at that meeting in his house that it was announced that the local government chairman of the party has been removed from office. You couldn't have been a leader of the party from formation, then you make your house or yourself available for that kind of shenanigans. It is wrong, and we are also aware that Olorigo Otega Emero is nonsense senatorial ambition. He wants to run for Senate. Yes, he wants to run for Senate. Probably he now feels that if he continues like this, he stands no chance. So let me see how I can cause a form of displacement to maybe bring in some of my lieutenants so that when the time comes for primaries or election, I can have an upper hand in whatever happens then. So these are the kind of things that have been going on. There was also a meeting in Eku, in Ethiopia's local government, when a similar thing played out. There was also another meeting somewhere in Ughelli South where similar things also happened. So it is mostly within the local government and ward level. If you notice at the state level, there's some sort of relative calm. But yes, so it is actually the party per se, and those who have come to join the party from other parties that needs to come to terms with the new reality on ground. Right. Then let the party do the more they can do to fuse both sides to integrate the people.
And
otherwise,
you've been in
I do
the
not
party,
think that
Honorable, you've been in the party long before this new wave of entrants. But from your experience, what's the best way to manage this kind of political merger without, alienating the people who built the party's foundation? What specific reforms are you advocating for to fix such, procedural bottlenecks and healing points so that both old loyalists and new entrants feel some kind of fairness and inclusivity?
Okay, first, those who embarked on forgery of signature to announce removal of persons, those people need to be brought to book. Okay. We have internal mechanisms to discipline our party members. Those people who went forging signatures, generating all kind of communique and documents to say they have removed certain persons from office, they need to be punished. Then the state leadership of the party must stop this idea of taking sides. Somebody comes with a document that, oh, we have met, we had a meeting and we have removed A from office. They communicate with the state leadership, and the state leadership is writing a letter to say they have endorsed it, they have ratified it, without hearing from the other side. What happened to Section 36 of the Nigerian Constitution? It is wrong. It is wrong. We do not need all these kind of things. If they want to go that route, people also have the capacity to also come up with documents to say, oh, Mr. B2 has been suspended from office. All of that is not necessary. The congresses are coming. We have a structure in place. Once you have joined the party, you are at liberty to contest, to vie for any office you are interested in. Let us maintain the status quo. Let those who are already occupying different positions, let them continue to the next Congress. If you feel threatened, or you feel that, oh, the people who are in place just now may not favor your political interests, then drum up support for whoever you like to run for any of the party offices, party positions, from ward level to state level. Bring up some people, support them. If they win during the Congress, well and good. But there is no need to destabilizing or causing confusion inside the party. Okay. It's most uncalled for. It is not necessary. It is not. It is. I want to say here that some of these people who are causing this crisis, they do not mean well for Mr. President. They do not. Okay. If they do, they will not be rocking the boat of the party that they met that was stable and equilibrium. They will be rocking it.
I mean, the basis of our conversation tonight and all you have said is that unity is critical if the APC truly intends to, consolidate its new strength in Delta State. And hopefully all of the concerns you've raised tonight would be addressed. Thank you so much for speaking with us, Honorable Efe Ofobruku, APC Chieftain, Delta State. Thank you so much for your time, and please have a great weekend.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you very much for watching, everyone. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But before we go, let's tell you that the views and reactions of our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Meanwhile, you can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode at 12:30 a.m. Get in touch with us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and X at TVC News NG, and at Olajumoke using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News NG. I am Olajumoke. Good night, everyone.